They can't force me to take overtime. There's enough people who take overtime voluntarily. I'm not forced to do so.
Let me say the magic words here so we can get started. Good morning and welcome to the Moopsyverse. Good morning to you, Taz. Or should I say, hi, Taz.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Another liar. Say.
Chris is not having a good morning. Chris is just having a hello.
It's cold. I'm cold constantly because the temperature's awful again.
How cold is it?
Let's see. It lies that it's 15 degrees, but
That's chilly
for
June.
For mid-June, this is a little bit too low.
How's
Yeah, it's like that it's 15. The real feel is 13, 12, something like that.
how's it in your section of the world, Taz?
Can you hear that?
I can hear the meh. I didn't hear anything else.
Oh, the air raid has been going off.
No, for what?
The phone is saying it's a test of the system.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But holy hell, it's loud.
Well, it's supposed to be.
It's really weird that you can't hear it because it's so low that I can barely hear you guys.
Wow.
You probably have some sort of noise cancelling. I hear nothing from you outside of you talking.
Yeah, same here.
That's really impressive.
We'll take that. Yeah,
It's so loud.
Well,
It's like drilling in my head,
Oh my
and you
God.
can't hear it.
are you on? No, not at all. Are you on computer or on phone?
On my computer. And
Go hide
the
your.
air sirens are so loud that I can feel my windows vibrating.
That's crazy.
Nothing here.
Ha.
Also, that doesn't sound healthy.
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
Back in the day when I lived in Chicago. Must have been when I lived in a place called Elk Grove, which is very close to O'Hare, maybe 10, 15 miles from Chicago. They tested the tornado sirens every Tuesday morning at like 10 a.m. And the siren was across the street from us, and it was deafening. And then I moved away, but then I'd come back and work with my parents for a while, and I brought the dog with. And at 10 o'clock on Tuesdays, once a month, the dog would howl right back at the tornado siren, which did not make it any better. These dogs have no idea what the tornado siren is because it goes off on your phone instead.
I'm gonna try
Yeah.
something.
Okay.
Please don't.
And it went quiet.
Yay.
Oh, there it is.
Maybe for you.
Well, while you're figuring that out, I misspoke the other day when I said we had 10 captains and commanders for the Universal today. Today's Universal
Could
is...
you hear that?
Nope.
What?
Nope.
I switched out the microphone without any dampening on.
Nope. Can't hear it. It's not coming over the audio at all.
If it's voice activated, it doesn't resemble voice to the Discord,
No.
so it doesn't recognize you. It doesn't do anything to it.
That's probably the thing.
Obviously, it's going off letting you know that today's endeavor Universal is complete any advanced or elite queue. Oh, the challenge. The horror.
Oh, I'm never gonna do that one.
Mhm. And the weekends is complete a random TFO. Makes up for some of the bad ones. That said, let me jump over here to something.
Bad ones.
Bordicus posted something on Blue Sky.
Is he? Nothing popped up on my feed.
Yeah, it didn't pop up on mine either. Two people mentioned it. SAB mentioned it, and Ezzy mentioned it. And what's happening is let's see if I can get this one. I think this is it, and my apologies if this is wrong. Is asking people to go into his comments and post their thoughts about adventure zones and battle zones. And it says, this has really nothing to do with the future content plans yet. Now, yet is a question. It's more of a question of curiosity. Let him know what you think about the adventure zones and battle zones he has posted.
All that.
Yeah. Which is nice. I mean, a lot of people are giving him responses. The problem is you have like a 250 character limit, so some people are posting documents instead, with all their thoughts. Mine was 12 different posts to give all the answers. But hey, post back, let them know. I don't know if we'll get anything out of it, but I think a lot of people are coming up with the same comments about, like, Gankra has the bug at the end, and the map gets a little weird. And Dyson Battle Zone is just, or Ground Zone is just old. And for that matter, Defura is not a challenge. It used to be fun. Now it's not a challenge to the extent that you can solo it. And I just got the temp here. It is 58 degrees here. It is a bit cool.
Well, I'm using Celsius.
Let's see. Cooler. Comfortable is 70, so it's 20 degrees cooler than that. It is, you need to put a jacket on, a light jacket on. How's that?
Yep.
We'll just redefine things in terms of, it's enough to buy a loaf of bread, or you should wear a jacket, or t-shirt and shorts weather, or Americans have this tendency to describe things in terms of other things, and the best one they've got is for size. It's the size of a football field. It's the size, it's a rock the size of a house. Kind of that kind of stuff. And we were doing something once, and the person who was describing the length of something described it in the length of, not otters, what was it? Maybe it was otters. No, ferrets. It was the length of a ferret. It's like the length of a ferret. I'm thinking, what? Well, that doesn't help me in the least.
No.
And of course, we got into a discussion then. This is at work because we had nothing better to do. So if it is the size of a ferret, is that a ferret longitudinally or latitudinally? Is it across the ferret, or is it the length of a ferret? And we had a long discussion. My coworker was then finishing up planning for a trip around the world for business. So I got the distances for each of his legs of it and sent him a translation into ferret lengths.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's like 6.2 million ferret. And he goes, yeah, but longitudinal or latitudinal ferrets? So, of course, then we promptly went into that translation. And while he was gone on his trip, I got a length of tape, measured it off in lengths of ferrets. So apparently there are 4 latitudinal ferrets to a longitudinal ferret, or 6, or whatever it was. So we'd have a ferret that was 18 inches long, made with 6 sections of 3-inch wide ferret pieces. And then we had to cut it into smaller bits. So then the guys downstairs started coming up with centiferrets, milliferrets, decaferrets. It's not a good day when you're starting to do that stuff. Do not work with engineers unless you have a really good sense of humor and like to pay attention to detailed stuff. Ooh, I have phaser and kinetic damage in space. Ooh.
You. I get plasma damage and Hark frigates in space.
Well, I can see something we can do. Excuse me one second.
I'm almost done.
Of course you are.
chilly
Waiting
enough
3
that my...
minutes is too long for you.
Pardon?
I have
No, Taz is already
ADHD.
finishing his stuff.
Of course, it's been
so-
11 minutes. That's okay. He'll come with and just shoot things with us. He has a good sense of humor that way. I should send him some of my other accounts, then he can help with all those. Here, Daz, do these for me too while you're at it. Though yesterday I had 2 that were everything all at once. Like ground damage, ground healing, and Herc or something on the ground. It's like, fine, make my life easy. See if I care. I apologize. I am coughing like crazy. One sec. Something is pollinating out there. I thought my only allergy was to grass, and I have basically no grass in my yard. In large part because I spent yesterday planting non-pollinating plants and covering up the bases with mulch so the mud wouldn't splash back on the house, and then starting to lay in a gravel pathway from my driveway to the backyard, so lots of exercise yesterday. And wasn't sneezing at all, so it's not the little bits of grass I've got. I don't know what it is, but it's something out there, and you can hear it in my voice. Oh my.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like you're having a little bit
Wow.
of rough.
Oh, unfortunately, it's driving day, maybe, so I'm not going to be able to take anything for it. Let's see, any updates? Okay, so still don't know if I have class tonight or not. Well, let us do Swarm, so we can get... You said you had Herc frigates, right? Oh, hold on,
Yep.
let me make sure I've got some phasers and some kinetics on here. Let's see. That's a phaser, and that's phaser. What do we put down here? Let's put a... Good, I got a whole bunch of phasers. Oh, I have some kinetic to do. Shoot, can't do all that then. Let's see. Get back there and... Must have another one. There we go. Okay, now I've got some toys on there. And queued us up for Swarm. So since you weren't on last night, Chris, we did like 3 ground TFOs and a couple of interesting spacey TFOs.
Okay.
Just tried to do things we don't usually do.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. And tomorrow night we're going to do a throwback, so I have an idea of what we're going to do, but it probably is going to be ground. Just giving you a heads up.
Yeah.
Well, give you some warning on these.
Can we do the event after Swarm?
Absolutely, but I want to change to a different tune, so that would be fine.
Yeah.
We did the event on this tune yesterday, so I just turned it in. We did a different account last night, so I turned that one in. Wee woo?
Wee woo.
Primitive.
I was trying to do the 20-hour cooldown, and at 2 in the morning for getting up and doing it, I'm like, nope. It's just a little extra lithium. It doesn't matter. It's not the meta event.
Yeah, that's no point in
I'm
overdoing it.
I'm thinking they're going to make the meta event sync up with Ryza for some reason. I hope they don't, because that's 2 events running at once. That's too much.
Yeah, Meta event was never attached to this Hammer event. That would be a very blasphemous thing.
Yeah, they have
I
done...
hear some stuff from behind the scenes about the ship for the
Summer event?
Yeah. Summer event being not everyone's cup of tea. Which is an interesting thing. And then it kind of was downplayed. I don't know, I didn't see those posts, I just heard Sam and Trizzo talking about that, but I know Sam doesn't deal with gossip, so I think he might have heard something on the stream or something.
Yeah,
Or might
they
have spoken to
get
someone.
into different areas of people talking to them than I get, so
Yeah.
a lot of time they're right, though. I'm not going to complain too much that they're giving information that's not valid.
For sure.
And people feel comfortable talking to
You're
them
about
because
to
they tend
overrun
not to
this.
spill the beans too fast.
I don't know if you've heard that the Embracer is getting a new CEO.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
hopefully that'll be good.
Nope.
Oh.
No, not the new CEO. The previous one was terrible. The new one's not gonna be better. Nah.
Well, right
It's gonna
now, Star
be-
Trek
was it-
Online isn't even
was it-
listed under DECA. So,
He was a chief executive. He was the deputy CEO before. And now he's gonna be this main CEO. Absolute atrocious person.
oh,
He he's been attached to idols since like the 90s, from before Tomb Raider, I think. And he's been making all the bad decisions. His department was overseeing like the expectations for sales for the franchises that they had under them, including Tomb Raider. They always made the bad calls, and then suddenly everyone at the board was expressing like an unsatisfying sales amount, and I'm like, well, who calculated them? Like, it was clearly someone there who made wrong calculations with the
yeah.
prognosis and stuff. So that's on you, that you made unrealistic expectations for a title that clearly cannot perform as well as everything else out there. Tomb Raider was always kind of a niche thing, so expecting it to suddenly perform like, I don't know, like Assassin's Creed is probably a bit of an overshot,
Yeah.
but you know, the guy's been behind like very lenient, let's say, lenient approach towards the dev studios, meaning that they had very little supervision, very little oversight, so they could do whatever they wanted, including make bad franchise decisions, which resulted in those franchises eventually being sold off. He was about to be fired from Square Enix
Well,
back in 22, but he offered that he'll go along with the franchise that they plan to sell, so they left him, and now he becomes the CEO of Embracer. So like,
wow.
well, talking about that decision being kind of this guy is kind of like the symptom of a plague that's been following idols.
I always
Slash
wonder,
Square
how do
Enix.
these people get jobs? I mean, they're CEO,
That's
but
the same question. I don't get it. And he wasn't a CEO before. He was like executive. Like,
no, that does make a lot of
Stuff.
sense.
he wasn't the CEO of anything before, I think, but he was in the lead of many things, like lead department, lead financial department, etc. So the fact that somehow someone who has a very big question mark attached to his name suddenly becomes the CEO of a big conglomerate like Embracer that just try to do internal restructuring because they're constantly failing on everything they're doing.
There's one more to get. I haven't gotten
It's not screaming the biggest vote of confidence.
yet. No? No, it doesn't sound like it.
Yeah. Well, what can you do, right? Fellow Rogers
last
is
of the
gonna
refugee
be
ships.
stepping up, I think, in August or something like it. And Lars, whatever his name was, is gonna step down afterward, around that at the same time. So yeah. I was like, oh, so they're gonna change the CEO, and then I saw the name. It's like, ooh, yeah. Good luck. Good luck, Embracer.
Embracer's made some
Head to a
interesting
safe space.
business
Protect the
decisions, shall we
refugee
say?
ships.
They continue to make very interesting business decisions. Like, I don't know, they don't check the resume, they don't speak to people when they put someone on a...
Oh, I'm sure they do, but it may not be
Role
the
of the
deciding
CEO?
factor.
Well, if that's not the deciding factor about someone has a very unfortunate stigma attached to them for years, that, like, even the community of gamers that are a little bit more invested than, you know, the games themselves, but, like, who found and makes them, rolls their eyes when they see a name attached to a project. Kind of like
Well, I will say that way back when I was newly married, my husband invited me to the company Christmas dinner where they announced that they were going to get rid of a certain line of product that they carried and pick up a different one. And I looked at the owner of the company and said, "That's stupid." My husband's dying inside.
so you weren't the very diplomatic one then.
No, I wasn't. But it was a stupid decision. They went out of business shortly thereafter because
Aww,
It-
bad decision.
it was a bad
What
decision.
shocker.
well, then again,
What a shocker.
my husband bought Disney stock at one point, and I'm like, no. He's like, but it's Disney. I'm like, no, you don't know. It is not
Yep.
Disney.
Yep, that's right. That's Disney. There.
So after he passed, it was actually one of the first things we did when we were starting to figure out his investments. Nope, Disney, sell it.
Sell that off.
Sell it.
Yeah.
Ship spotted at escape
Well.
Gamma. Get over there.
This is as they were tanking Star Wars, but before they had tanked everything else.
Yeah. But things got worse even then because they weren't doing all those live-action remakes that only made things worse.
Oh no, they were doing the live-action remakes because they had like 4 out at the time. But none of them did well, so a lot of them come out and you don't even know that they came out because that's how meh they are.
Well, I think we are at the stage where the Snow White is actually seen on streaming
No,
platforms. and
it was
like,
pulled from streaming. They did not
it was
release.
supposed
It was supposed to be
it was
released.
supposed to go out.
Yep, it
Did
didn't.
They, pull
They
it
pulled it.
off?
They didn't even
Why did they
release
pull
it to
that?
stream.
Wow.
It's already
were
a bad thing.
advertising
They
that
didn't want to
some
make it
time
even
ago.
worse.
It's interesting.
Head to escape route
I
Beta.
shouldn't be
Protect
surprised,
the
really.
refugee
Nope,
ships.
you shouldn't be.
They probably don't want people making memes out of it.
Oh no, they're gonna make memes out of it anyway. You know that.
But yeah, but they didn't want to make it easy, you know? The only version will be like Blu-ray and DVD.
So you
Refugee
both
ships
know about
heading down
chat music,
escape route
right?
Alpha. Protect them.
Oh my god. Oh my
Chat
god. I'm
music.
looking
Chat
at
music.
Chat music the latest couple of days and they are.
Oh, I haven't seen anything lately. But I found one that takes chats from Tinder and a few others and sets them to music.
But you mean the thing that we saw with the comments from
Yeah.
Snow White and stuff like that? Okay.
Well, chat music does that with a lot of comments with a lot of different topics.
Oh,
But
boy.
this guy does Tinder text messages and sets them to music. And I think he sings them too. It's not AI. But they're really good. I came on, the first one was pretty innocent. Okay, that's cute. And then it proceeded to go downhill very quickly thereafter. What are you guys doing on Tinder, folks? You
Yeah,
know,
like, there weren't any better places to look for sources.
yeah. People.
Oh, God.
People.
No one commenting on my ship today.
I'm sorry.
Hold
Head
up.
to escape route Beta.
Pulled out
Protect the refugee
a
ships.
duster to
Earth ship spotted
are you
at
flying
escape
today?
route Gamma. Get over there.
Cheval? I had to look it up. Oh. I don't even know that ship.
Redex.
Oh, he's flying the lipstick.
A what?
The
The
lipstick.
lipstick.
I'm sorry, but what?
Come over and take a look at it closer.
Do you want to explain it to him, Mom?
Refugee ships heading down escape route Alpha.
Not on the air, no.
You're being again rude towards my ship.
No, not at all. Not at
Yes,
all.
does that rocket help?
We could have Sav describe it. And yep. Yep. I'm sure Sav has a name for it. It's... Well, we could be, nicer and just say it looks kind of like a short sword with a fairly large grip and pommel. We'll be nice. We'll just call it the Gladius.
Yeah.
It's a Vulcan ship.
I know it's a Vulcan ship.
Very much.
It looks a lot like the jellyfish.
Get over there.
It is. It's just
Well, jellyfish was kind of a Vulcan ship.
the jellyfish definitely is a Vulcan ship. The real jellyfish.
Was it made by Geordi? Like, according to lore, the jellyfish was made by Geordi the Lord.
But the reality is, it's supposed to be a Vulcan ship. Because how could it be designed by Geordi when the timelines... Well, maybe the timelines do kind of go, yeah.
I mean, originally Spock went from our timeline, right?
Right.
Like from post-Nemesis TNG timeline.
That's a little too Easter eggy, but it's fine for Star Trek Online trivia.
Do you own the Baul ship, Chris?
Oh.
Okay. I was just
I
curious.
was considering it, but
I was curious if you use the console from the Baul ship on the Cheval, if the Cheval tipped upwards like the Baul ship does.
and none of the other ship do. It's only working for the Baul ship. If your ship will become stationary in its normal position, but it doesn't tip up or anything like it.
Yeah.
Look interesting, like a space station suddenly. Kind of would resemble the Starbase 1.
The Cheval
Little
would
bit.
look really good tipped up.
Be so wrong. Good morning, Zatalia, who says Mom needs a casino on her ship so it can be the Casino Royale. That would be good.
You can have a casino if you have a Ferengi ship.
It is, but I'm sure she's going because it's the Ark Royal.
Well, then you can put any bridge on any ship, so you could put the Ferengi bridge on your ship and
No,
make
so
it the real Casino Royale.
I could put a casino there. Not going to. I'm gonna
Right,
break
since
apart
the
the
hatred and slander and
team.
the team ships.
I'm gonna move over to a different tune, so give me a second.
Aww,
Oh, you've had my ship. I'm not gonna play with it around you. That's easy.
it's a nice ship, I'm telling you.
Lies detected. Warning, lies detected. High quantities of dubious opinions have been expressed in the chat.
Chris, stop having so sensitive hair.
What?
Did you say sensitive hair?
Yeah, that's what we
Leave
call
my
it.
hair
in
alone.
Norway.
It's falling out as it is.
That's a term I've never heard.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one before. I assume it's
It's not
something.
Norwegian saying.
Clearly. Clearly. Do I have anything?
Slutt å være
there's-
så hårsår, we usually say. And that means stop being so sensitive in the hair.
As my grandmother would say, don't get your knickers in a knot.
Was that knickers and a
That was
twist?
too-
Don't get your knickers in a knot. Knickers being underpants.
Yeah, I know what knickers are.
Okay.
But I've heard knickers and a twist.
Oh,
Yeah, me too. Nichols
Okay.
in a twist.
probably because she liked alliterations. Knickers in a knot.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, she was my grandmother. She was
Oh.
born like 100. Oh my God, my grandmother was born like 125 years ago.
Whoa.
Oh, probably more than that. I'd have to go back and look. 140 years ago. Hey, she made it into the 1980s. I think maybe even into the early 90s.
That's a long life to cling to.
Yeah, well, when my husband was first diagnosed with cancer, my mom was like, you can't tell Mama," that was her name. "Can't tell Mama because, she's from an age where cancer was a death sentence." And somebody told her, and she's like, "I hear Greg's got cancer." "Well, yeah, but, the prognosis," she goes, "Honey, they can cure that these days. Don't get too worried, but pay attention to the doctor." And I'm like, oh my God, my grandmother is so much more up to date than my mom thinks she is.
Yeah.
Oh.
As she put it, she went from when she was a little kid, getting up in the morning, milking the cows by hand, getting the milk on the cart and going downtown, or going into the town with all the milk canisters on the back of a horse-drawn carriage to be put on the train to Chicago. And before she died, men were on the moon, all these other things were happening, women's rights, civil rights, lots of things that were never anticipated when she was a kid were happening. So yeah, she went through a lot. Just
Cool.
interesting. So you wanted to do the TFO, or did you want to do the episode, Taz? Spacey or groundy?
The fastest one.
Well, with us, that would be space.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get this and I'll share it with everybody. I wish it would pop up on the top of my screen when I accept it, though.
And we're being to Alpha Quadrant. I really hate that it's not a TFO, it's just an episode, like not a patrol. Should really just make it a patrol and call it a mini episode.
Well, I
A
think
lot
they're...
less people will be annoyed with the length of it, because some people are really complaining that, oh my god, such a short thing, I'm giving it 5 out of 10. I'm like, okay.
I think they're experimenting with different approaches to things, which I appreciate.
I think so too, and I want to let them, but like people are so overly critical, like you can't do nothing now without them being whiny and complaining about every little minor detail. And
Come on.
they story was so underwhelming and everything. Like, okay, well, I don't like 3-hour episodes that I'm losing
Yeah.
track of. So
Come on
thank you
in
very
whenever you're
much.
ready.
But some people are just like, oh no, it has to be a full-blown episode, or like better, full season.
I will take a single episode. We'll wait for you, Taz.
I need plasma damage, so I brought in a little bit of smaller, tiny little ship.
Oops.
One of 2 ships in plasma.
There we go. There we go.
What'd you do?
You don't want to know.
No, I don't want
No, you don't want to know.
making fun of my ship again.
No! Stop being so sensitive in the hair!
I leave my hair alone and, what you call that?
You don't have your knickers in a knot?
I've got rejection sensitive dysphoria kind of thing.
Somebody can go ahead and trigger that one.
Ever
I'm
heard
moving
of
over
it?
for the other one. For the next one, rather.
So, I will see negativity in literally everything about myself, 'cause that's how that little thing works. Like say, oh, if you wanna come, you can join us. I hear like we don't really want you, but we're throwing you a bone so you don't feel left out, kind of thing. Even if it's not true, that's how I have twisted perception of things about me. I really hate that about me, but I hear that's something with ADHDers pretty commonly. I don't know if everyone has it.
Has what? That,
What?
You said you don't know if
Uh,
everyone has that?
There's something called RSD, which is rejection sensitivity dysphoria. It's something that ADHDers will often have. They will perceive, they will overanalyze, and I do that all the time. They will overanalyze everything that's being said
Oh, yeah.
towards them or about them or within their presence as a potential stab or something like it, like a jab.
It's
Or
interesting.
like we'll consider like people will invite me over saying, not like, oh, you gotta come, but they'll say it like, you can come if you want. And I will immediately see that, oh, okay, they don't want me here, they're just throwing me a bone,
Yep.
so I do feel like total crap. I was like overly
Oh.
sensitive.
It's interesting you bring that up because Kel posted something on his Facebook akin to that. And not asking if he's overly sensitive, but trying to understand what's going on because he's overanalyzing something in a similar vein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cal has ADHD or something like it, so I think it's very likely. I mean, overthinking is one of the traits of ADHDers anyway, but if you have rejection sensitivity to dysphoria, that makes it triply overly analyzed in a normal ADHDer, because that would be like, because you have like overly critical perception of yourself. So
Yeah, that definitely gets involved with that.
Yeah, so everything it usually comes when you were like overly criticized as a child, which I absolutely was, so that totally applies to me. I understand where it came from. It's very hard to fight with it. I'm trying to like, and I've kind of grown thick skin to like people that don't know me. So I don't really care about people that, you know, I don't know and they don't know me. So their opinion kind of like is going past me. I don't really care.
Let me interrupt for 1 sec. Cliff, good morning. Yes, I'll send you an invitation as soon as we're done here.
Good morning, Cliff.
Cliff wants to come play with
But
us.
it's absolutely atrocious when it comes to stuff for the people I care. Like they're part of my life. I consider them close friends, and they will say the most, you know, really innocent thing, and I will overanalyze it as many potential negative aspects to it. Absolutely terrible. I hate that.
Well,
Worst thing in a
I
relationship.
didn't know.
Yeah.
We tend to start making fun of each other when we are getting more friendly than just what's it called?
So I was the youngest of 4.
We
And-
do it as a sign of
Camaraderie?
Yeah.
Oops, I did not hit that tractor beam on that thing.
I did press it, but it didn't
Oh,
apply.
okay.
I have to do it again.
No, it says... Oh, no, it doesn't. You have to be close for that one.
Yeah, I think I had
Well,
to do
Chris,
the range.
clearly Taz considers you to be a friend, and
We can't hold on for much longer.
I can't remember. There was a phrase for it back in the 80s, I think, maybe a little bit later in the 90s. I will have to look it up.
Cube has adapted.
But it was the same thing. If you knew somebody well, you could tease them
Yeah,
about
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Without it meaning to be evil or bad. Just, hey, we're good enough friends. We can do this. Translation: Chris, we like you.
I get that, but like the way my brain is like, it's hard to work around it. Why
Oh,
is
it
there a
is.
second cube? It's you, Taz. You're doing a second cube enemy.
Space magic.
Yep, it is space magic.
How does your space magic duplicate an enemy ship? Excuse me.
It's not a duplication, it's a displacement. I have this thingy that randomly teleports the target around and big targets get weird
Oh.
about doing that.
Well, probably because these kinds of enemies have a plot armor and they can't be moved around. Like you can't move any of the Unimatrix ships or the Queen and the Hive. They're static, they're static
Yeah,
until they die.
When I move those, I literally move inside them.
Oh,
Ouchie.
that's interesting.
So I have to maneuver out of them afterwards. So instead
Not my
of them
plasma
moving,
damage.
I'm getting teleported inside them, and it's kind of frustrating.
Well, that's interesting.
Must not be much fun when they do Wolf 359 though, because that TFO already could move you inside the... the cube, sometimes you can fly into it and never fly out of it. Probably made it double the problem.
Satali says, I call myself Magical Space Barbie because I like using various exotic damage stuff.
Yes.
Okay, Cliff, since you're new to the party here, and of course Taz had all of his endeavors done in the first 11 minutes because, Taz.
Almost done. I need to do Senketi on the ground and I can't find them.
That would be
you
in
can only
Science
find
and...
them in an episode, so...
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, I know. Science of
Science and Portents, and it's the section called Adamant, and I just go to that section
Yeah,
and
I'm
leave it
on
queued up
that
there.
section, but when I click it, the planet is non-interactable. I think it's a party thingy.
Yeah, because the rest of us aren't there.
Yeah.
That part of the episode.
So when I...
Yeah. So,
Oh, now it's working.
oh,
I can
well,
do it.
quick, go do it. Oh, fine, I'll accept it.
I won't. I ain't going there.
How many do you have to kill?
60.
Ugh.
Whoa.
So do you do it to the halfway point and then restart it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I do.
I mean, you can take it all the
I
way to
did
the
like the
caves and
map.
get it, but then...
I did like the map in that episode.
I'm just bored. I'd like to see some more, Kathy. I mean, Brushfire's got them too, but you have to get so far into the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Which I probably ought to queue it just to be there.
Just say like what they do with the environments when they do a new map like this. The environment is so much more detailed than what they used to.
Mm-hmm.
Like even that little stream of water looks so good, like compared to like when they would do it like in the olden days. Like I remember the old episodes where they would post a
Yeah,
river or something and it looked so
Oh, yeah.
fake and artificial.
Go down to New Romulus and...
If
Yeah,
you
New
see-
Romulus is still ugly. Like what the hell? That map is very visual.
Yeah,
Do
that's...
you have a HDR monitor, Chris?
My laptop is in HDR. Yeah.
They're waiting for us.
Do you have it on or do you have it disabled?
I think it's on. I don't really know.
Right click on your desktop and go display properties and it should show you quite immediately the HDR setting and if it's on. There has been a lot of configuring problems, but Microsoft has launched a configuring app, and after you run the app, well, my water looks so realistic that I just sit down and drool at it.
You mean
It's
on this
mind-blowing.
specific?
Yeah. It's amazing how good it looks.
The Kaon levels are
I just realized I had ground damage to do, so might as well switch on some weapons with ground toys.
Yeah.
They fight like cornered rabbit cows. I can smell their fear.
there, just ahead. I see guards.
There, just ahead. It's Kathy in the wild.
Let's reset it.
Okay.
This is gonna sound weird. I ate sombreros yesterday, so now I'm really dried out.
You ate sombreros?
I'm reading
Yeah.
some Kathy
Hats?
signs inside
Like
that
a
blocked
hat?
cave.
That's gonna dry out.
That's why I said it's gonna sound weird.
Yes, that sounds weird.
Well, it does. It really does. What's a sombrero then? I'm assuming it's a food.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
You want to describe it for us?
I'm,
No, he
taking,
just wants us in the dark.
I'm taking a picture
Oh,
of it
okay.
now.
I had drunken noodles. A recipe popped up in my feed. I'm like, oh, that looks good. I followed the recipe with only one very mild substitution. And nope. Great concept, but they decided that a half teaspoon of paprika would be good. It was not.
Oh, that sounded like pain in the stomach.
Yeah, I usually like paprika.
Did you get the picture?
Okay. Yeah.
Teaspoon? What? Like, sorry, what? A teaspoon of paprika?
Half a teaspoon of paprika to basically 1 serving of chicken, and sprinkled directly on the chicken.
Ooh.
It was too much. Way too much.
They know that there is a reasonable limit of paprika, right?
Yeah, it's a lot less than that. So those just look like some kind of, like a cornucopia. Is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Their weapons
For those of you who did not go to that link, the best description I've got is old school bugles,
lead into the
but with cheese and hot sweet chili.
Oh, I see. They followed the waterfall.
For anybody who remembers bugles from the 1970s.
The rocks
If you
here
know
are
what
causing
bugle
a lot of
is.
interference.
Bugles were
We should
a
take another set of
corn
scans to
chip
get our
type
bearings.
thing. Quite tasty, actually. And they were horn shaped or cone shaped.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So-
That gives me a picture.
Yeah, I sent you a picture.
Yeah, there's a link there.
Not on my
I-
desk right now. I'll
I
check it in a
sent
second.
it on his Discord.
Yeah, I'm not on my computer now. Well, you're shooting stuff on ground, so I decided to, like, go and do things in real life. I know, disgusting.
How dare you?
It's all about my pupper.
so
Just
there are some
late
Zincati with
breakfast.
taste for
The very late bloomer when it comes to eating breakfast these days.
Scans indicate they took the
Boy,
path
this-
of
Be an age thing.
This Tetrion gun is not very effective.
entire planet.
All this pew pew and I've
They
only
must
gotten
find
1,000
some
damage.
tactical advantage in these actions for some
Mhm.
reason.
I'm reading
How
Zancati
old
life
is your
signs
dog,
ahead.
Chris?
They're
Right, 15
waiting
years
for
of
us.
age, 14,
Whoa.
15.
Good. We will
And
meet
how
in
much does he weigh?
battle.
He's around 30 kilos. 34 maybe. Why?
Wow.
Well, he's the size
You kept him alive for a long time, and that's impressive.
He's been with me for like half his life now. Was
He's
over 6 years
90 in
old.
dog years? Wait, 100.
85, something like
yeah. Wow.
Baby, you awake?
They are
Breakfast
using
is up.
delaying tactics.
If you
They
want
must be
some.
getting close.
The path continues down from
She's
here.
greedy.
The protomatter bomb is still ahead of us.
We are
The
done.
chaos
Oh, we're
levels
done?
are rising.
Sweet.
We're
Yeah,
getting
Alrighty.
closer to the protomatter bomb.
I'm beaming up then.
You are being so adorable today. You're being so adorable, Fluffy.
Okay, Cliff, it's on you since you joined us later. What would you like to do, Cliff? Have you ever put bugles on your fingertips? Of course, Italia. You have to put the bugles on your fingertips.
That's where they go.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought they were edibles.
they are, but you put them. It's like you put candy corn on your teeth. You put bugles on your fingers. My nieces used to put olives on their fingers, which I find disgusting because, olives. Ugh.
Like olives.
Chris has.
Any type.
I have destroyed Tholian ships. How many Tholian ships do you have to destroy, Cliff? I'm trying to figure out if we need to do 10. Oh, let's just go do Azure Nebula. Does that work for everybody? Not Azure Nebula. I'm sorry. Let's go do Archer.
I was gonna say. Yeah.
On my way to Archer.
Okay, I'm trying to remember what's the
Try working
shortcut.
because you're a sector now.
Don't go into Archer till we're all there.
Yeah, another day. He's not very much interested in breakfast. It's gonna wait for later. We're gonna eat it for dinner.
My dogs woke me up at like 4:30 going, "Hey, it's breakfast time." No. No, it's not.
Do you have how should I say thick milk?
What?
Curdled milk? Is that better?
Curdled milk?
No.
We have something called Biola, and it's really, really, really good for your stomach. And at that age, if he's not eating breakfast, I would think it's because his tummy hurts a bit, which is kind of normal. And if you give him this stomach stabilizing drink, it might be better for his appetite.
Can you spell it in chat?
I'm gonna Google it and try
Okay.
and find a not Norwegian equivalent of it.
You could just translate
we-
it and
Yeah, but
Okay,
we have such weird names for
Yeah,
stuff that
that-
they don't translate.
Sally says, dog sitting when clocks are changed is an adventure. Yep. Because that dog clock is going off at a certain time.
well, it's just an hour difference. It's not that bad.
Yeah, but if my dogs now decide, hey, we're going to have breakfast at 3, as opposed to we're having breakfast at 4. Oh, we're going to Archer Cliff. Archer is in the Beta Quadrant. It's on the far east side of the map. Let's see. The sector is the Narendra sector. The Archer system. So the shortcut
The
I
far
use
right
is
side
I
of the
go
map.
to Sphere of Influence, which puts me at New Romulus. That's my shortcut. Not shortcut.
I
Shortcut.
heard that, Mom.
Yeah.
Mom.
It's very Freudian. Very Freudian. And then just go east.
I love it.
Yeah, kind of is. Let's see. What did you just send me there? Let's see. Viola.
I've never heard of this.
It almost looks like some of our probiotic cork stuff that we can get here.
I mean, that for people, yeah.
Well, hey, dogs love cork. Oh my gosh. And yogurt for that matter.
Mhm.
I don't know about that being applicable to dogs.
Yeah, they do make
Hey.
probiotics for dogs, though, that can be very helpful
Mhm.
with digestion.
Yeah, well, he's constantly on some stomach meds.
Because
He has a reflux thing developed
Yep.
for 2 years now, so it's
Yeah.
it's to be expected that he's not very always happy
Yeah.
to eat.
Yeah.
I'm giving him meds for that, but sometimes there's just a day that he just
I'm just
Eh.
warning you. Your final meal to your dog is gonna break you.
Yeah. Let's just not go there because I think about that way too
Yeah.
much. Okay, let me get back to this cliff. If you go to the episode listing and you go to Solanae Dyson Sphere, the very first episode is Sphere of Influence. That's a shortcut if you transwarp to New Romulus. And it doesn't take you transwarp. And then from there I go over to Archer just by going east.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new commercial, so tell you, dogs love cork. And we get Armin Shimmerman to do it. Are we getting a free T6 coupon? What?
What?
Where'd you get that, Swear? I'm not going to say no, but I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, where's that info
I
coming
don't
from?
know. Where's it coming from, Swear? Because if it's... Oh,
I
wow.
swear.
Well, can't blame a guy for trying. Yeah, no. We do have the summer party coming up in about a month, and we will be doing our usual giveaway, but I have to actually go play some missions and get stuff and load up the bank, so we have tons of stuff to give away. It's not like the olden days where everybody was dumping all their junk in the fleet. We may just wind up giving away EC this time. I mean, if you
I
can't...
have a couple of T6 tokens I can give away.
I have a bunch of free 6 tokens I can give away too. But we're not going there. Yeah. Terranectomy is raiding with a party of 6. Greetings to the Terranectomy folks.
Welcome.
Neuronectomy sounds like a very painful medical procedure. Involving Terrans, no less.
Ew, and we got a Moopsy in here. It's a
when you
Musin. Hi, Musin.
when you
Oops.
have your parents surgically removed.
Yeah, that's a good day when we get them. Are we all here? By the way, I don't know where you guys are because you're in a different map.
I'm in next to Chris, next to
Okay.
Arthur.
I'm going to go into Archer. I'll meet you guys in there. And I probably, unfortunately, have it set on easy. Yeah, I have it set on easy, but he only needs 10.
Aye.
Chris and Cliff, come on in when you're ready. Hi, Pteronectomy. How you doing? Oh, okay. I'm not on my main account right now. I'm on one of my many alt accounts.
Any? I wouldn't say so.
I have 3 alt accounts and a main. We just need to wait for Cliff to get here. Stuff and things. Yes, stuff and things.
Cooler than the Enterprise here.
And a lot of traits.
Satali says Mom missed me trying to con a ship from her. No, I didn't miss it.
Shoot
I just
chaos.
ignored it. Don't shoot things until Cliff gets in here, because we're waiting on Cliff. Because he won't get credit. Then we have to...
And he's shooting. Cheers.
Cliff, get in here.
What are you talking about? I vanished. All safe.
Okay. Cliff.
I saw your ship fire.
There's Cliff. Okay, kill things. Hey, death to everything. Pteronectomy says, looks like tomorrow I get to level up my KDF recruit and they're level 5. Wow. That's going to be fun. How are you leveling them up? Are you doing like patrols? Are you doing episodes? Are you brave and doing all the episodes? DAF missions? There's so many ways to do it these days.
He's probably going to poke me for help on that.
I want to... Next time there's a XP weekend, I'm going to grab somebody who wants to see if we can break our 97-minute record. And I know people have done it in under 60 minutes to 65, so I'd like to get that all set and do that one day.
Yeah, Aaron. If you want to be fast, gotta talk to Mom.
Did you get your 10, Cliff? I'm in the process of going back and playing all the episodes on all of my tunes and just going back and looking at how old episodes were structured. It was much more like this mini episode, short, sweet, to the point, except it always had some ground, some space. And then you get into these newer ones, which is a ton
Of
Did
exposition.
they fix the Romulan Taylor bug?
I don't know. I haven't been down there for tailoring. It's not a
There
place.
is a mission you get as a Romulan in the beginning. It's part of the tutorial. You have to go and talk to the tailor.
Oh,
It was bugged. You could share it, and it gave one level each time you turned it in.
no.
So you just had that one character that was on the mission, sit there sharing it for every new character you created, and you just completed it over and over and over.
Oh
one
my
level each
gosh.
time. So
It's like overkill.
yeah, you could
Nice
go to
exploit.
65 in 12 minutes. It was kind of sick.
Wow. So, Pteronectomy, find somebody who's got really good DPS and you just run all the patrols. The best ones you've got as fast as you can. Get a ship that's going to level up with you. Dump your junk between them. Don't try and get any money out of it. Just burn them for salvage and keep going back in and
Yep.
back in and back in and back in and back in. The only thing I would say, prep by getting as much inventory space as you can possibly afford. Because it does fill up fast.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably help him out a little.
That would be good.
Yeah, I need to work on my KDF recruit too.
I think the fastest we did was, including time to go back to ESD and dump all the loot out, it was over 3 hours, but once you actually get to the time in mission, hour and a half-ish. But somebody's done it in like 60 minutes, and now there's the Taylor bug. Yeah. There's a lot of ways. We should have a party or a competition. How fast can you do it? And of course, we would have to trust everybody because, you know. Okay, what else do we have to do before I have to go get ready to hit the gym? Oh,
To be
shit.
available on phone calls, so
And to be available
I
on
gotta
phone calls.
spam.
Okay.
Mom, some
Yes.
people can do it as soon as they leave the tutorial
Yeah.
because they have a token.
My token for what?
Okay, so there's a couple of legendary ships for each faction. There's one
Yeah.
that come with a level 65 insta token.
No.
In the
That doesn't count.
Don't count.
That doesn't count. There's no adventure in doing that one. So Pteronectomy, what I
Like,
think they're just talking about is there's a Taylor bug down if you're doing a Romulan character, which you can share and gives you a level every time you complete it.
yeah, but he's not doing a Romulan. He's doing his KDF recruit.
Musin, you seem really quiet.
Do I?
Yeah.
Well, I'll
Yep.
turn it up.
Okay.
Is
Wait
this
a moment.
better?
What did we just do? No, it's fine, Musin. It's fine. Just fine.
Okay. Well, I couldn't hear him. Let's do one last one. I know Chris is out of here. Anybody want to join us real quick, and we'll do one last whatever.
I'm gonna pop out of the voice chat as well,
Okay.
just in case. See ya.
Well,
Thanks,
now we can
guys.
make fun of him, and he won't hear us.
I will hear you on stream. Thank you very much. I'm already theorizing in my head.
We love you, Chris.
Take it with a grain of
Oh,
salt.
well,
Anyway, toodles.
Take care, Chris. We'll
Yeah,
talk to you
thanks.
later.
Could always do something space.
Yes, we could do something space. Is there a specific thing, and would you like to join us? I'll send you an invitation there.
Just swap my specializations again. 'Cause obviously, I wasn't prepared.
No problem, Pteronectomy. We are here in the mornings, and I'm trying to be here Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday night. Tonight's a possibility, but I won't know till later. Because it's like 5 in the morning where my instructor is right now, and I'm not going to send him a message going, "Hey, did you figure out if we're having class tonight?" at 5 in the morning when he's going to a funeral. That's just rude.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was my eyebrows.
Did
Gun?
you cinch your eyebrows?
I just turned my unibrow into regular eyebrows again.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a little high flame.
Oops.
Whoopsie.
So what are we doing?
I can smell the burnt hair.
Do not say Borg disconnected, Taz. Nope. Nope.
You know me too well.
I do.
Seems I'm still on cooldown for infected, so that's off the table.
What about Hive Onslaught?
In a minute?
Okay.
I'm on a minute cooldown for that.
You are. Guillotine's too long. Yeah, let's just wait the minute for...
Anybody a tank?
Pardon?
Is anybody a tank or no?
No, we have a Taz. We don't need a tank. I mean, things don't last long enough when you've got a Taz. It just all dies. Well, Satalia, I tend to go to the gym on Monday and Wednesday, which is the day they make announcements, so yeah. But
It's whatever. I want to bring this thing.
bring whatever you want. It's just fine. So as I was saying earlier, I spent yesterday working on my, quote, garden side of my house, making it look less like mud. And so I have plants every 3 feet. I thought, well, that looks boring. So I filled it in with mulch, and then I was hauling these rocks from the back of my house, which are like 40 pounds each, and going, oh, God, I'm never going to be able to pick these up. I get down and get my arms underneath them, stand up, it's like, oh, Oh, this isn't bad at all. I can do this. It's just that first moment of getting your fingers underneath it.
Yeah.
But why? Why the previous owners just let the sides of the house turn to mud, I don't know. It's very hard to grow stuff.
No, they wanted to overpay for their shopping.
Well, it's super shady here in terms of there's a lot of trees, not a lot of direct sunlight, so you have to pick plants appropriately. Hence, something called a hosta.
Yeah, like
Great
as-
shade plant.
as Talia says, what is mud doing in your garden?
He's turning it into a market. Well, actually, that would be really cute. I could imagine doing a whole gnome-type marketplace. I could have some fun with this.
That's the reason why they let it turn to mud. They want to overprice their house.
I'm going to queue us up for Hive Onslaught here.
My
Weeboo.
neighbor used to do the gardening of the flower beds on the outside of the house,
Mm-hmm.
and she has now moved to our elderly home,
Oh,
so no one is taking care of the flower beds anymore, and I'm
Oh.
starting to think maybe it's my turn.
yeah, kind of is. Kind
But
of is.
I don't have any green fingers at all.
I
So
have an
letting
amazing.
me loose there is like letting loose a gas can on the flowers. So I really had to put my nose in some books and figure this out.
My dad
Oh,
used to have the most
yes.
beautiful flower garden on the side of the house. And my dad has a black thumb, kills everything. And I was impressed as heck until one day he goes, they're fake. What? I went through them and they were really good fakes, and he had them and would put them in, and every year, they're getting muddy and dirty where regular flowers don't do that.
That's my
You give them a
solution.
wash off and, get them back in there for the next season, pull them up during the winter so they wouldn't be there over the winter, and no one figured it out for a few years.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
It was so good.
That's my solution. I'll go and get some fake flowers and put in the beds.
If you buy ones that are fairly well made, they look real. And I was there like 3 times a week, and I never figured it out. I should have,
Like my
but I
ship
didn't.
Name, Mom.
Yeah?
A ship name.
Ship name? Where are you? Where are you? Can't do well, class? See if I can avoid dying this time.
You had destroyed me.
Yes?
What difficulty is this?
I'm sorry, this is advanced, this is not elite. I didn't know where Chris was, or sorry, where Cliff was in terms of willingness to play elite. And I wasn't sure where this ship was in terms of ability to play elite. Oh darn. Well, I guess we could have done elite then. I had such a lovely run on this the other day. I wound up smack in between the 2 vessels next to the queen. Just had to pivot. It was lovely. And everything died so fast.
Your efforts are futile. Destroy this vessel, and I will claim another.
Feedback in theory.
Eternal! This is not the end.
Yeah, it kind of is.
drum
Okay,
speaks with my voice.
yes.
All right, I am out of here, everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Might be
Um,
on tonight, but I won't know for at least 6 hours, probably 8 hours.
Yeah.
Because that's how it goes sometimes. Let's see, how was that one? Bruce Banner. Yeah, Bruce needs some work. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Everybody, have a hold on. Musin, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Have a wonderful day and stay moopsome.
Moopsy.
Shun the non-believer! Shun! Shun!
Computer deactivate iguana.
Oh, that's so perfect.
How
Thank
dare you?
Thank you for the iguana.